Okay, it's the end of the day, time for my Monday journal. I am tired. I also had 2 hours of just maybe 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours of relaxing after my job and the YouTube channel and everything. And I probably should have recorded this journal before I did all the relaxing, but it is what it is. And this so this week I put out a video that I knew was going to be a more low effort video. And I kind of have my filler category videos that I usually do in this place. And it's like, the regular fans are going to like them, but they're not going to do too well. And I always worry about just putting too many of them out, and them taking up more of the real estate of what people can see from my channel. So I decided to do a different topic that I think was a better one, but and it's one with more integrity behind it, but it's more niche topic. I knew I could write it quick, which I'll get to, but it was more niche topic. So I threw the video together, and I put work into it, but it wasn't too hard to do, and it's doing way better than the filler type of video would have done in its place, and it's pretty much for the type of topic it's doing. It surpassed all my expectations. I really couldn't imagine a video of this topic doing better. Now, I will say it's one that has a niche appeal, but I think the way I titled it and the I have text in the thumbnail too, and I think those both kind of brought in more general people who might not be interested in the niche category in a personal way, but they're just sort of like, oh yeah, that's something I kind of wondered about. I don't necessarily care about this thing, but I do kind of care about what it represents or in sort of a meta context. So I think that was a good move because there were some ways I could have titled this that wouldn't have done that. Um, a tip as far as titling videos is sometimes I get my topics like this too. Is I look at Reddit and Quora questions, and I don't just copy what people have in answers, but I sort of look at them and I'm basically like, okay, there's a lot of interest around this. I mean, if someone asked it and it's getting a good number of replies, and those replies are getting good engagement, that means there's something there. And if no one's ever done a video on it, well, heck, I know there's so many times I wish, I'll be searching for something and you're just scrolling through people's comments on it, and that's all great, but it's like I wish there was just a video to put on in the background or just put on my TV that talks about the same thing. So it's just a really good way to find topics, and it's, title, you can title the videos like the questions. Another thing that was cool with this is instead of falling back on my filler, I kind of came up with an original topic for it, and I pretty much put the video together in a week's time. Now, there was some cramming, and I know where that was. It was actually with the video editing portion, which I don't have a good solution for the problem there yet. But it's basically, I was able to get it done in that time, and that's cool. I think part of it was the way I picked the topic, which I can go into in other videos, but it was also something I talked about in my last journal. I didn't do a why topic, I did a did topic or a how topic, or a what topic. Whys are basically they're more open-ended questions. Like if you say, why did this event happen? I mean, if you just think of in a conversation you're having with someone, if you ask someone, why do you think this person did that? Or why do you think the things you think? Why do you have the beliefs you have? There's in conversations, a lot of times people recommend, hey, ask those questions if you need to just be polite or keep a conversation rolling, because there's a lot. They can just keep rolling with stuff. It's open ended. I might not be using the word right, but yeah, I think you could get the gist. Whereas if you use something like a did, if you ask someone, did this happen? They can answer yes or no. They can expand on it, but basically it's yes or no. If they ask what happened, they can just say, oh, the car just stalled out in the middle of the road. A little bit more open-ended, but still, it's answer it with a declarative sentence. And what I did with this one is instead of saying, why did this event happen, I said, did this event happen? Uh, breaking it down really simplest terms without revealing what the other channel is. And that I think was good for me to keep the topic contained instead of spiraling into something really big. Because there have been a lot of these where I'm like, I'll just put together a video in a week and then I'll have it out and it'll be an easy one. And I turn it into something a lot bigger. And this was really good. I have 2 more topics kind of produced in the same way. Far along with writing. I guess I'll share something else that I did with one of those that I think is really good, and I think is going to help with getting the video done quicker, is instead of doing my research phase as just writing down a bunch of bullet points, which is what I usually do. I just like this fact, this is interesting, that's interesting, but anything, write them all down and throw them all together. I didn't start my first header as because I do the stuff in Google Docs. I didn't do it as points. I did it as a first draft. So as I find information, I'm not just putting on a chart, I'm actually like writing it in a very crude way, but basically taking all the information and expanding out into different points. And I don't know how to put it without getting more nitty gritty, but it's basically, I think it's already giving me the structure. It's kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and once again, it's making sure I don't expand beyond where I should be with the topic. It's also helping with the organization of information, which is that even if you're doing a 7-minute video, sometimes just how you organize the information, how you put together your narrative, that can be a hard thing to put together. And so, especially if you get attached to a topic and you're like, well, I want to tell the story this way, but that way sounds really good too. I think there were some other offhanded things I wanted to mention. There's stuff in the news that's concerning. There's stuff, I'm in the immediate sense, I'm in a good situation as far as the economy and where I live, but I'm also aware that things can get bad any second, and there's more stuff I'd like to do to prepare for that. And I also got a bookcase from IKEA. IKEA's really cool to go walk around in and stuff. Me and my girlfriend did that about 2 weeks ago, and I got a bookcase, and I was really excited about putting it together, but it's like the screws. You gotta screw it all in yourself. The screws don't fit; they're too big. So I'm gonna have to basically put in a request or figure out however you do that. But it's a shame, because I have a ton of books and I do not have enough places to put them, and a lot of cheap books. I mean, Ollie's is a great place. I mean, because people don't read anymore, and a lot of people would read. They listen to audiobooks or something. So it's like, wow, you can get like high quality, like good books that these really accredited people who do a ton of research. You can get them for like $5 at Ollie's, and that's pretty great. And some hardbacks too, which is always preferable. Well, not always preferable, but it's cool. But I want to do a whole bunch of videos on just little life hacks like that. Like, here, find this at Ollie's. Here, this is a more convenient way to do this thing. This is something you can eat to get the morning rolling quicker. Just a whole bunch of stuff like that. That I'd like to touch on at one point. I've been meaning to for about a year now, but I've already touched on a million topics in this video, so I'm going to wrap it up here, wash up, and get some much-earned sleep.